Hey folks, this is Roy from Roboto Games, and we're here to count down the top 13 most anticipated survival crafting games that have an announced release in 2024. Starting off with number 13 is Fractured Vale. The survival MMO is set on a fictional island of apocalyptic Hawaii that offers both PvE and PvP gameplay to craft, build, and defend your base against mutants, cannibals, or even other players looking to raid your resources. The persistent map is based on real-world topographical data from Maui and features procedural buildings, roads, and rivers, a dynamic weather system, and day-night cycles in this 64 square kilometer open world map. If you prefer to watch the action, AI drones patrol the island and stream gameplay live to Twitch TV 24/7. Fractured Vale will be available for early access on January 18th, 2024. Next up is Serum. In this immersive survival adventure, you wake up trapped in a mysterious world with a device implanted in your arm that ticks down the minutes and seconds until your life is over. In order to survive, you must extract toxic substances from plants and mutated animals to brew different serums recipes that unlock dozens of unique powers and abilities. Craft tools, weapons, and deadly traps while uncovering clues about past events and how you got there. This game is developed in Unreal Engine 5 and features different biomes to explore either solo or through an online co-op mode supporting up to 4 players. Serum will be available for early access in Q1 2024. Number 11 on my list of most anticipated survival crafting games in 2024 is Aloft. Developed by an indie game studio, you must survive on islands floating around a giant eternal hurricane. In this sandbox survival game, you construct sails on your island base and navigate the wind currents to discover new islands, equipment, and technologies to sail your island higher and higher in altitude. Farm crops, raise livestock, and automate machines by harnessing the power of wind. The game features a robust island editor where you can change every detail of your base down to the smallest stone. Aloft can be played solo or with up to 8 players in online co-op. The demo is currently available on Steam and is planned for release in 2024. Up next is Winter Survival. Set during the frigid winter inside a national state park, you find yourself separated from safety and must survive through rough terrain, harsh weather conditions, and deadly apex predators. With its unique sanity system, the fear and stress from surviving alone in a vast, desolate land make it difficult to separate reality from madness. Out in the wild, it's hunt or be hunted. Craft weapons and deadly traps to hunt for food or fend off packs of wolves and giant grizzly bears, also trying their hardest to survive. Winter Survival is set to release in early access on February 28th, 2024. Number 9 on my list of most anticipated survival crafting games in 2024 is The Altars. From the studio that developed Frostpunk and This War of Mine, this game is definitely one of the most unique games on our list. The Altars has you taking the role of Jan, a simple worker who crash-landed on an empty, distant planet. There, you discover an exotic substance and use it to create alternate versions of yourself, each with their own personality and life experiences. You must work with these altars to complete tasks that would be impossible on your own, all while building relationships and influencing key decisions that could mean life or death. The Altars is scheduled to release in 2024. Next up is Pacific Drive. Set in the Pacific Northwest of the United States, Pacific Drive is an immersive, first-person driving survival adventure game where your humble station wagon is your only companion. Uncover the mystery of the Olympic Exclusion Zone, an abandoned research site, and scavenge through the scattered facilities and to find leftover experimental equipment to upgrade and reinforce your ride. Drive through the zone while anomalies and supernatural occurrences transform the wilderness into an unpredictable, hostile environment. Pacific Drive is set to release on February 22nd, 2024. Number 7 on my list is Bellwright. Framed for the murder of the prince and sentenced to death by the crown, Bellwright is an open-world survival game set in the medieval age. Starting as a lone fugitive, you work your way up from a small camp to becoming the leader of a great rebellion. Manage your village and command your forces against a royal army to liberate land from the crown and expand your own settlements. Craft a variety of medieval weapons and armor for intense, skill-based combat. From sword and bows to heavy mauls and polearms, lead your armies into battle and learn the truth behind the crown. Bellwright is planned for early release in Q1 2024. Up next is Once Human, an open-world survival horror MMO set in a post-apocalyptic future infested by an alien creature known as Stardust. Survive in a poisoned land where eating polluted food and drinking dirty water will reduce your sanity but will keep you alive for another day. As a metahuman that survived the contamination and can use the power of Stardust, you compete against other factions for resources, technology, and information. Collect and craft over 100 firearm blueprints to defend your territory and fight against mutated monsters that were once human. Some early players have praised the immersive atmospheric gameplay, comparing it to Fallout 76 and Death Stranding. Once Human is currently in closed beta and is scheduled for release in Q3 2024. Number 5 on my list is Nightingale, a gas lamp fantasy open-world survival game filled with supernatural events and fantastical realms. The year is 1889, and you are stranded beyond your world. You must become a realm walker and navigate through a mystical portal network to different Fey realms using an innovative card system that reshapes the landscape of your next destination. Craft a variety of equipment and weapons that can be enhanced with magical properties using arcane technology. Construct homes and buildings in several architectural styles to form communities and safely live off the land. Even recruit workers to automate production and assist in resource gathering. Explore the vast realmscape either solo or through online co-op with friends. Nightingale will be available for early access in February 22nd, 2024. Next up is the wackiest game on this list for me, Palworld. Imagine an open-world survival crafting game featuring cute, mysterious creatures known as pals, and they can wield assault rifles and rocket launchers. Pals are everything in this game. You can ride them to explore the land, sea, and sky. You can harness their elemental abilities to create fire or generate electricity. You can force them into a life of labor and automate the process of growing and harvesting resources. You can even eat them if you want. The game supports up to 4 players in online co-op or 32 players on a dedicated server. Palworld will be available for early access in January 2024. Number 3 on my list of most anticipated survival crafting games in 2024 is Enshrouded, an open-world survival action RPG set in the continent of Embervale. Your journey starts with nothing, and you must forage and scavenge what you can to survive the ruins of a lost kingdom that destroyed itself in its greed for magical power. The pestilent fog, known as the Shroud, corrupts the land and mutates those caught in it into beasts known as the Fell. Rescue NPCs, and they'll reward you with advanced workshops to craft epic weapons and armor. Learn new combat skills to customize your character's abilities and fight as a warrior, ranger, or mage. The voxel-based environment allows for epic-scale constructions of villages and castles. Up to 16 players can join together in their online co-op. Enshrouded will be available for early access on January 24th, 2024. Number 2 on my list is Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl, a first-person survival horror shooter. This long-awaited sequel is the 4th in a series that debuted back in 2007, but it's still unknown where it will take place in the timeline. In this alternate reality, you're taking on the role of a lone stalker sort of like a treasure hunter, looking for artifacts in the modern-day Chernobyl exclusion zone, where a second disaster happened in 2006. This non-linear branching storyline features several endings, with the developers already announcing full modding support and a multiplayer mode shortly after release as a free update. Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl is available for pre-purchase and is scheduled to release in Q1 of 2024. And the number one most anticipated survival crafting game in 2024 is Ark 2, developed in Unreal Engine 5. In this long-awaited sequel, you take on the role of legendary Ark hero Santiago, featuring the voice and likeness of none other than Vin Diesel. You fight for survival in a primal world filled with dinosaurs and humans struggling for dominance. This sequel offers Souls-like melee combat, emphasizing on skill-based action, and the revamped component-based crafting system allows for millions of possible combinations for different tools, gear, and weapons. After a few delays, the developer announced in a community post that Ark 2 will be released for early access at the end of 2024. Let's hope for the best. We at Roboto Games are developing an open-world survival crafting game codenamed Project Storm, where players will craft, build, fight, and harness epic storms to survive in a magical fantasy world. Subscribe to our email list on our website at robotogames.com to get access to exclusives and playtests as we develop the game.